Hello YouTube, it is Louiemander back with another Sky Striker deck profile video. I wanted to give you guys an update on some of the significant changes I've made. I've been running in the Duelist Cup and I'm currently at division level 17 and I've been having a lot of fun. Wanted to show you guys the changes that I've made, as I think some of them are ones I'll be sticking with and some are ones I could see myself tweaking back, so I wanted to give you an update. I've really appreciated and enjoyed getting these videos out to you guys, so if you found them helpful or enjoyable, please give a like and subscription, as it really helps me know what to do with the channel. I've been considering uploading some Adamancipator or other deck videos, so if you guys would enjoy watching any of those, please let me know, as I really enjoy some other decks as well, with Sky Strikers of course being my favorite. But we'll kind of dive into some of these changes before we break down the replays. The biggest change I'm going to start with is going to be the Upstart Goblin. I am now running 3 copies in place of the Effect Veiler and the Ghost Spells I previously ran. I feel like the Upstart Goblin is better at getting me into my board breakers a little bit more consistently, but there's been many instances where I wish I had the Ghost Spell or the Effect Veiler, and it doesn't give me many good targets to draw into Max C on if I'm activating Max C on their turn 3. So I don't have a lot of disruption with this play, but I think if I can get a well-established board, it won't matter as much. So I'm giving the 3 Upstarts a try, but this is one of the changes I'm not 100% sold on. I did go to 1 Ingirsu instead of the Lina, the Light Charmer. We've been seeing a lot of Avramax, of course, with the introduction and the release of Spright, and I feel like Ingirsu is one of the more consistent and reliable outs that you can have to Avramax. He's not too hard to get on the field, being a link 3, and nothing is really prevented from being sent to the graveyard. I do have the Unicorn to help out with the Underworld Goddess, since she needs to be targeted, so that's why I'm running these 2, and then Access Code Talker still, of course. Like I said, not much has changed, but if you guys have questions or thoughts about this, please give me a comment down below and let me know, and I'd be happy to answer. But let's dive into the replays. Alright everyone, our first replay of the day is going to be a matchup up against Adamancipators. Like I mentioned in the intro, this is a deck I really enjoy playing, so if you want to see my take on the deck, please let me know down below. But we open a pretty good starting hand against it with Ray, the best starter we can have, as well as Dark Ruler and Regeki, to almost guarantee I can break anything he puts out, since Adamancipators is a very monster negation heavy board. There's not a lot of spell and traps that I'm going to be worried about, and the Afterburners is nice in case we get to a turn 4 to have in hand. My opponent's going to go straight into the Baron so that I have nothing to negate his Burial with. I didn't anyway, so he's going to get Block Dragon on board and then resolve it by going into IP. He's going to continue comboing off after resolving his Block Dragon. He does hit the Supplier. Gets the 3 attack or 3 negate Appaloosa on board, and then is going to go into the Granite. I'm not really sure that this was the best play, as I'm not sure what adding this Roxy's does for you on this turn, but he's able to get Block Dragon back, so my opponent's got, in his opinion, a decent board, an Omni Negate with 3 monster negates, and prevents destruction until I Dark Ruler him. So we get the Dark Ruler and the Regeki off to destroy just about everything except Appaloosa, since it was made with the IP Masquerena. I know that the Dark Ruler would have negated the Block Dragon, but I still decide to go with a Called by the Grave anyway, because without a Block Dragon, this deck is not going to be doing anything I can't handle on my next turn. We dump the Engage so that I can add it back with Kagari. And we're going to be searching modules and drawing into Ash Blossom. We're going to turn Toggle on in the end phase so that we can add the Shark Cannon back and activate it, adding back the Baron. I feel like a Baron is better than having a Widow Anchor in this situation. That's why I decided to have the Baron rather than do the Widow Anchor Shizuku Shuffle. Alright everyone, replay number 2 today is going to be a matchup that took place during the Duelist Cup, and this was up against a Spright player. You will see I do not open a Dark Ruler no more, so I'll have to break my opponent's board through a non-traditional negate destruction and have to hopefully get him to waste his negate so that I can resolve Dark Hole or Regeki after baiting with the first. My opponent is going to stunt on me with the Royal Gigantic Spright, so good for him, and go into a pretty standard Spright end board. You'll see he goes into the Gamma here shortly. And then as well is going to bring in the Nimble so he can go to an IP, bring back the Ronin Tonin, and then pass back to me. This is not the most intimidating end board I feel like I could have faced, so we're going to bait the Carrot negation and go into Regeki. This ensures that Avermax is the only thing on board, and I mentioned earlier that we made a change up in the deck to prepare for Avermax. When they're made with IP and they're non-destructible and non-targetable, that's not the easiest thing for this deck to handle. So we're going to go into Hayate, dump the Engage, bring it back with Kagari in main 2. We're going to search out the Shark Cannon so that I can use it to bring back his IP and link into a Link 3 in Girsu. Send us both, since that's non-targeting. And I use the Call by the Grave so that I can banish the Spright Elf so we won't have it for next turn, and linkage chain off of it so that I can Shizuku in the end phase until I get side-framed. And now I have no end board, and me and my opponent are both going to be into top deck mode. He doesn't get anything, which is not uncommon for Spright to not be able to combo off with only one card in hand, which is why this style is so efficient. I used a linkage to bring Kagari and add the Engage back. Here I probably misplayed. I got greedy thinking I could maybe try to go for game, but I don't really have a combo to get that much damage on board. And I add the Ray when a Widow Anchor probably would have been better to bring back. Even another Shark Cannon in this situation would have been really nice, which is why I've considered adding another. But we go into Hayate, dump a Ray so that I have it in the end phase in case my opponent has destruction. And I add the Widow Anchor with the Shizuku. And my opponent has nothing he can do at this point with his second card and knows I will win next turn. So, misplay there at the end, but overall, pretty good game. Alright everyone, we've got one final replay of the day. This is going to be another ladder matchup against a Spright opponent. I wanted to show off this replay since it does a really good job of highlighting how you can break a board with a bunch of negations without having a Dark Ruler or anything that actually negates your opponent's entire board, just one Widow Anchor. My opponent is going to open a full combo hand for himself. He's going to go into the Baron to start and the Spright. With his Swap Frog, he's going to use it to go into Elf. He's going to be able to bring back the Ronin Toad and go into IP Masquerena. And he's going to end on a board that has both red, carrot, a set, the IP, the Elf, and the Baron. I'm going to bait the carrot negate and the Baron negate before I can get Dark Hole on board is my plan here. So I'm hoping he negates this linkage and my opponent takes the bait and does fall for it. He then decides to bring back the blue, which I thought maybe he should have decided to bring back the red instead, but that was just my opinion. Not that it would have mattered, because what we're going to do right after this is go into the Dark Hole. I strongly considered using Triple Tactic Talent to take control of the Baron, but I decided against it because he would probably just use IP in response to it and link away the Baron, and I wouldn't be able to actually get it into my possession. He is going to go into Avermax, again, a card that I've been having issues outing in this deck, but it's the only thing left for us to deal with. I'm going to use the Shark Cannon now to bring back the Baron. I'm going to Triple Tactics Talent to take control of the Avermax, and I'm going to normal summon Ray and then use Baron to pop, and my opponent will concede. I wasn't going to be able to attack with the Baron, but I was still going to be able to do 6,000 damage, as well as have the Omni negate and then link away his Avermax. So there wasn't a lot he was going to be able to do, but I thought that was a pretty funny ending. Let's go into the final breakdown. Alright everyone, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I know it was a quicker one, but wanted to show off a couple of good replays we've had in the last couple of days. I'll be uploading more again soon, potentially some Adamancipator. If that's something you guys are interested, let me know. please consider giving the channel a subscription. Please give a like or a comment. It really would help me out with growing this channel and giving me direction on what you guys want to see moving forward, whether it's more Sky Striker exclusive content or whether some Adamancipator matchups would be helpful. As always, hope you guys have a great day, and thanks for watching.